Product and service management. Welcome to the topic which will be discussed in this video. We'll talk about the product and service management, and they are way different from. So, what exactly is product? Anything that can be offered in a market for attention, acquisition, use, or consumption. Remember, product can be offered in a market to capture attention, to for acquisition, for utilization, or for consumption. That satisfies a want or a need of a person, and that exactly is product. It's something which is very tangible. What does it include? Essential characteristics of physical product, services, person, places, organization, ideas, or perhaps even combination of any of the above that I've already said so. So, what is the levels that we are looking into it? What are the core products? What happens? Essentially, we all purchase core product, every one of us. But do we end up buying the core product? Definitely not. We end up buying the actual product. One, what is the actual product? It is the quality that we are talking about it. We end up purchasing the brand name, the packaging, the features, the design, in short, the ascribed value that needs to be purchased around here. So we buy a product. Let's say I want to purchase an automobile. I might end up purchasing an automobile, but which automobile did I purchase it? My thirst was for have a mode of transport from point A to point B. But then it comes, I might end up purchasing a Hummer, a Mercedes, a BMW, or let's say a Porsche. Now you look what we are looking into it. We are purchasing quality level. We are purchasing brand name, packaging, features, design. And this is the actual product that we are purchasing. But essentially the core product was a medium of transport, an automobile, as simple as it is. This is the actual product. Now let me bring up and expand the horizon to an augmented product. Now what are we looking into it? Whenever I am purchasing a automobile, I would look where the service stations are located, where the spare parts are available, what is the maintenance, what is the guarantees and warranties goes around it. This is again an augmented product which aids to my decision of purchasing the core product. Remember, the core product was only an automobile. What have I added to it? The actual product which I bring it to my home, and the augmented product which helps me to attain the decisions to pursue the product, essentially the final purchase product. These are the levels of product that I've been trying to tell it to you. Let me give you product classification and consumer product. Let's say convenience product, which we buy frequently, immediately, without a second thought. Why? Because they are low priced. Why? Because they are available everywhere, plentiful, includes staple goods, impulse goods, emergency goods. You don't need to think around it. Then we have something called shopping product. What is shopping product? These are things we purchase. Definitely yes, but less frequently. We need to gather informations, purchase fewer location. Let's say anything which with a ticket size of beyond 2000, or let's say $3,000 perhaps, we are looking to have a rethink whether we need to invest upon the money, go for a one-time down payment, or we go it for a deferred payment that comes around it. Am I clear? So will it be looking, how do it, is it a higher purchase plan that we should be offer? So compare it to the suitability, quality, price and style, anything beyond $3,000 to $30,000 to $90,000. And if you're purchasing properties perhaps which might be in terms of $900,000, a million or 2 million, something like that, how do you go about it? It will be always on a higher purchase scheme that we can go around it. Next is the specialty product. Now, specialty products are special, as the name suggests, for the purchase effort, unique characteristic, brand identification, and believe me or not, these are available at very few locations. So few purchase location altogether. So what are you looking to buy? You need to identify it. Where is it available? It is not available for everyone everywhere. You have to move to a particular place. Probably, let's say you want to purchase an automobile. Perhaps I've just given you an example. So there are certain showrooms, there are certain resellers who would be actually selling those things. And then we come to the fourth product is known as unsought product. Now, these are the product which has been newly launched, absolutely new innovation. You are not aware of the product. In fact, none of your friends, acquaintances are aware of the product. This is one of a kind of an experience which you want to enthrall yourself with. Product consumer don't want to think about, require much of an advertising, or should I say persuasive selling, perhaps personal selling to be included for. So these are the classification that comes around it: convenience product, shopping product, specialty product. How do we go around it? Now, if you look into classification of industrial product, there are simple, straightforward thing. We have materials and parts. Absolutely, yes, the components of the equipment itself, the capital item is the equipment itself, is the gross dollars that you spend around it, perhaps the boilers that you're talking about it, perhaps the coke oven plant that you want to install it, the materials and the parts will be the sub parts, the other components are out here. And then we are talking about suppliers and services who are going to do the maintenance, who are going to do the after sales services, and so on and so forth. The product classification for an industrial product is very simple. Why? So let us do about other marketable entities. How can product be classified? Marketed to create, maintain, change attitude, behaviors towards the following about the organization: profit in terms of businesses, non-profit, let's say school, colleges, hospital, hospice, and so on and so forth. We're talking about person, which is political and sports figure, entertainers, doctors, lawyers. Now these are also other marketable entities. Let's talk about places, business sites, and tourism sectors. We might be selling a tourism site altogether. Social is to reduce smoking, clean air conservation, as on when on basis. So other marketable entities include organization, person, place, by individual product decision. Now, how do we go around for the product decisions and how does it achieve? First and foremost thing, we are discussing only about the products attributes, right? Now, what are we looking? What are we seeking? First and foremost thing, we need to find it. Does it map? And we would try to map it with the product availability. Then once it has been mapped, do we look for options? Yes, definitely. In how many brands it is available. This is a point when we want to check with the brands. Why? Because we want to be looking very nice, very suave in front of our neighbors and acquaintances, perhaps. This is where it takes the packaging material comes into the place. How well it has been packed and probably labeled thereby. Is it marketable? Is it attainable? Does it come on the premium that you want to look into it? But last but not the least, we should always look for the support service. In case something goes wrong with the product, we should not end up being in the soup. So product becomes the major concern. Attribute decisions are very simple. Any product that we are going to go around it on a three pillars. One is quality, design, and features. We should ensure that the quality speaks volume. The brand name speaks volumes for the quality. Design, it should be tuning to our taste, our requirement as on when on basis. Features are the requirement that we possess should be mapped with the product inside the product, and the product might strive to give a host of other features which we might eventually require it. Talking about brands, what are we looking into it? Let me give you the advantages of brand. First and foremost thing, the brand names tells a lot about attributes, tells a lot about consistency. It tells volumes about quality and value. And most importantly, the moment you name a brand, probably it has been easily been identified and your mind maps it up to a certain degree of respect or otherwise perhaps. The brand equity is all about association, credibility, awareness, loyalty, as the case might be. This is what we are started. Major branding decision. Why do we look for brand selection? Selection and protection, because it has that ascribed value in the eyes of the beholder. Brand sponsored, other manufacturer brand, private brand, licensed brand, perhaps co-branding. So we have brand sponsored altogether. What are they? Manufacturers brand, the proprietary brand, if I may say so, the private brand, the exclusive, or should I say the limited edition brand that comes around it, the licensed brand, and co-branding as on when on basis. But Last but not the least should be a brand strategy. That is all about line extension. You have a brand and you increase the line extension so that you don't spend up a hell lot of money on the marketing initiative. The brand ascribed value might percolate into the line extension products or the product values. Brand extension, multi brands, and probably we can think about new brand, launching of a new brand altogether. A little bit of toiling, a little bit of working hard and putting up a little bit of a finances is required, but once the brand is established, everything, all the toil, all the hard work, all the money spent will be well deserving things. So brand strategy, let's say we would love to plot on the y-axis brand name, and let's say on the product category to be plot on the x-axis. So when the product category is existing and the brand is also existing, what do? We do something but line extension. So that is what is best thing around here. Now with line extension, when everything is existing, both product categories and the brand name. But what happens when brand name is existing but you are trying to launch a new brand? Now what are you doing? You are doing nothing. You are doing extension of branding, nothing else there. You are launching a new version. Mercedes might be launching a new edition of the car, new version of the car. It might be 365, it might be 560, it can be anything, the line that has been extended around here. Let me talk to you. When the product category is existing but the brand name is new, now, this is where you are launching yourself in a market which is cluttered with a multiple number of brands. So, this is where you want to go into a multi-brand commodity. So, you're launching another brand because why? The market was already existing, the product was already existing. You have launched yourself, you have announced your arrival in the market thereby. So, it's a multi-brand strategy altogether. But what happens when the brand name is new? The category is new, the product category is new. What are we looking into? We are into the blue ocean strategy of launching a new product and a new brand altogether, and that would be a new brand. Yes, so line extension is existing brand names extended in new forms, sizes, flavors of an existing product category. Brand extension, on the other hand, is existing brand names extending to a new products categories. Multi brands, on the other hand, are new brand names introduced in the same product categories. New brands are the brand names in the new product categories. So let us discuss packaging. Remember, packaging is all about sale tasks. It is all about competitive advantages. It is also about product safety. Packaging is all about sales tasks, competitive advantages, and also about product safety. That is what packaging is all about. But often I will take the name of packaging in the same breath as labeling, because labeling is nothing but identifying the product, identifying the brand, and has to be mentioned on the packaging itself. So it identifies, it describes, and eventually it promotes. Product service support services. Company should design its support services to profitably meet the needs of the target customer. How? Survey customer to determine satisfaction with current services and any new services thereby. Step 2 is to assess cost of providing desired services. Develop a package of services to delight customers and yield profit. That essentially would be looking for the perhaps. We'll talk about the product line decision. What is it? Product line length is the number of item in the same product. Let's say you have something available. Let's say your shampoo might be having into 2 pounds in a bottle size of 3 pounds, in a bottle size of 1 pound or half a pound, as the case might be. Now that's the size of the shampoo that comes around it. So it's basically stretching and lengthening beyond the current size. You might be looking for shampoo for oily hair, probably for dry hair, for split hair. Now, what are we doing around here? We are just doing nothing but probably stretching the brand altogether, both upwards and downwards, filling and lengthening the wide within the current range. As talking about the product mix decision, now what are we looking into it? We're talking about the width, the number of different product lines. You have those shampoos into different flavors, maybe a beer flavor, maybe a strawberry flavor, maybe a fruit flavor, maybe the flavor that probably has some sort of herbs or things that needs to be taken care of. We are promoting it. It's the variety of shampoo that comes around it. Length, total number of items within the lines. Depth, the number of version of each product that comes around it. And please do not get fixated with the shampoo example. It can be extended to your automobile. It can be even extended to your hospitalization services, where you get hospitalized into different types of hotel, different types of hospitals, different types of beds, rooms, dorms that you might be effectively getting admitted to, the public hospitals perhaps. So everywhere there's a category extension. The product mix decision is perfectly viable anywhere and everywhere. Characteristics of services and what we are looking into it. Remember, service is something which cannot be touched but can only be felt. So it is all about intangibility. It cannot be seen, cannot be tested, cannot be felt even, heard even, or smelled before the purchase. You have to make a purchase to enjoy it. It is inseparable. Why? Because service and service providers come together, and it's a one-off impact that comes around it. Variability, services is all about variability. Quality depends on who provides the services, when it has been provided, and where it has been provided, or most importantly, how it has been provided. So intangibility, inseparability, variability. But did I forget perishability? Yes, services cannot be stored for later use, for later sale. Services is the only product which can be generated, produced, consumed simultaneously. Characteristic of services. The SQC is the service quality chain that comes around it. We are talking about internal service quality. Why? Because this will lead to a greater satisfied loyal customer, greater service value, satisfied and positive service for the employees, health services and profits and growth as on when on basis. We are talking about marketing strategies for service firms. What are we looking into? It differentiation of services, develop, offer, deliver, image with competitive advantages. Managing service quality is all about empowering employees. Become customer obsessed, developing high service quality standard. Watch service performances minutely and very closely. Managing service productivities, train current or new employees, increase quantities by decreasing quality, utilize technology thereby. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. I'm sure everybody is able to gauge what are the product and service management is all about it. Thank you for watching this video till the end.